Nigeria had been independent for barely 5 years. The glow of freedom from British colonial rule was fading fast. Corruption ran deep, elections were marred by violence, and regional leaders struggled for control. The country was divided into 3 dominant regions: the Hausa Fulani North, the Yoruba West, and the Igbo East. Ethnic mistrust simmered, and political assassinations whispered on the wind. It was a cold, dark morning. Gunfire cracked through the air. Soldiers stormed the streets, politicians were dragged from their homes, and by sunrise, a nation had been turned upside down. What is about to happen will shatter Nigeria's young democracy and set the stage for decades of political unrest. In the early hours of January 15, 1966, Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, witnessed what would go down as one of the bloodiest coups in African history. It was a turning point that shattered dreams of a united post-independence nation and set the stage for years of unrest. Led by Major Chukwuma Kaduna Nziagwu and a group of young, idealistic military officers, mostly Igbo, the coup's goal was simple, at least on paper: end corruption, stop ethnic favoritism, and save Nigeria from political collapse. In their eyes, the politicians were corrupt, selfish, and unfit to lead. Their plan was simple but brutal: strike at the heart of the political elite in one night, removing the old order in a lightning coup. The Prime Minister, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, was abducted and later found dead. Top political leaders like Premier Ahmadu Bello of the North and Premier Samuel Akintola of the West were assassinated in cold blood. Even the nation's top military brass wasn't spared. In the north, Sir Ahmadu Bello, the powerful Sardana of Sokoto, was murdered in a hail of bullets.
Please give me an account of the night of the coup in Kaduna.
Well, it's rather something like the longest day. We started this off on the night of the 13th of January, when a night exercise was planned by the military college, which I command. We took our troops to the ground and taught them how to do night attacks. We didn't tell them what we were planning for, but at the end of the exercise we took them out and showed them various places where they were to stand and just remain in their vehicle. Next day we went out again for the same type of exercise, and at the end we issued them with ammunition, this time live ammunition, and told them that they were going back to the same place as they went yesterday, but this time they were to get certain people.
And they were with you, were they?
Oh, of course they did. Oh, they all supported us.
Did the Sardana himself attempt to fight?
Well, no. We didn't see him until the time we actually shot him. He ran away from his house when we fired the first few shots of anti-tank gun into the building. The whole roof was blown up and the place was set alight. Then we went to the rear of the house and started searching from room to room until we found him amongst the women and children, hiding himself. So we sort of took away the women and children and took him.
Now, what are your relations with General Iramsi in Lagos?
Well, very good. He's my boss. I have always been under him, and I still am under him. There isn't really any problem with you. Misunderstandings arose, but this was due to the publication in the press and by announcements over the radio. At one time they started calling us in Kaduna rebels, whereas in fact the revolution...
By dawn, over 30 political and military figures lay dead. It was swift, brutal, and shocking. The coup failed to completely seize power. In Lagos, Major General Johnson Aguiyi-Ironsi, the most senior Igbo officer, took control, declaring himself head of state. The coup had unleashed a storm. In the north, it was seen not as a rescue mission, but as an Igbo conspiracy to dominate Nigeria. The seeds of ethnic hatred were planted. While Nziagwa's forces succeeded in the north, in Lagos and the west, loyalist troops fought back. 6 months later, a revenge coup in July 1966 would claim even more lives, including Ironsi himself, and trigger massacres of Igbos in the north. The coup collapsed, but the damage was done. The Nigerian army's unity was shattered along ethnic lines, planting seeds of distrust that would later explode into the Nigerian Civil War. The January 1966 coup wasn't just an event, it was the first domino in a chain of blood-soaked tragedies. The counter-coup of July 1966, the massacres that followed, and the 3-year Biafran War all traced their roots back to that fateful night.